At this time, I invite our acting principal, Reverend Stephen Scott, who will give the welcome remarks, followed by the principal's report. And as he comes, let me just share a little bit with you about our principal. Reverend Stephen Leslie Scott has worked in education in Barbados since 1986. He has taught at the St. George Secondary School between the periods 1996 to 2004. He was at Harrison College as senior teacher from 2004 to 2015, at Parkinson Memorial as deputy principal 2015 to 2019, at St. Leonard's Boys School as principal acting from 2019 to 2022, and now here at the Alleyne School as current principal from 2022, obviously, to now. Reverend Scott holds a bachelor's degree with honors in literatures in English, a bachelor's degree in theology, a master's degree in educational administration, and diplomas in education, special needs education, and educational leadership. Reverend Scott is a singer. I'm glad to know this. No, I haven't heard it yet at Assembly, but I'm looking forward to this. Yes, Reverend Scott is a singer and a sports enthusiast, as well as minister of religion, and he currently serves as the president of the Bethel Bible College of the Caribbean, Barbados. Ladies and gentlemen, please join with me as we welcome acting principal of the Alleyne School, Reverend Stephen Scott.
Mrs. Tameisha Cole, senior teacher, chairman of the Board of Management, in her absentia, Ms. Shade Jemmett, honored guest speaker, Dr. Kevin Greenidge, governor of the Central Bank of Barbados, Mrs. Noveline Brewster, chief of communications, Central Bank of Barbados, Mrs. Natasha Griffith-Scott, presenter of prizes, Mr. Troy Phillips, deputy principal, Mr. Richie Alleyne and family, descendants of Mr. John Gay Alleyne, founder of Alleyne School, Mr. Ralph Williams, CEO of Williams Industries Incorporated, Mr. John Francis, Director of Operations, Williams Industries Incorporated, and others from Williams Industries this morning, Ms. Nisa Alleyne, President of the Parent Teachers Association, other members of the Platform Party, Ms. Julia Beckles, immediate past principal of Alleyne School and current principal of Combermere, former and present principals and colleagues, alumni of the Alleyne School, staff of the Alleyne School, Dr. the Most Honorable Corey Forde, other specially invited guests, parents, guardians, students, media partners, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. It makes me feel nicer. Unfortunately, our chairman, Ms. Shade Jemmett, could not be here this morning due to unforeseen circumstances, but she's asked me to welcome you here this morning as we would engage in this celebration of the achievement of the Alleyne School for the year 2021 to 2022. Indeed, she sends congratulations, and I will ask Ms. Brewster to give those congratulations to Dr. Kevin Greenidge on his elevation to the post of Governor of the Central Bank. And indeed, I welcome you as well here today as we celebrate. The academic year 2021 to 2022 was indeed like no other, as students and teachers found themselves having to commence classes in the online environment in September 2021. This did not deter either students or teachers from engaging effectively as online classes were successfully completed. This was followed by a hybrid approach to school from February of 2022, where students attended the physical compound on designated days for classes, while on other days they joined their teachers online. The students and staff whom we celebrate today were able to navigate the new normal, as it was called, as the COVID pandemic impacted the world. Despite this, our students and staff were able to rise to the occasion and excel, and this reflects the theme for today's proceedings, continuing the legacy of success. Legacy, and we were given a definition, but this is my definition, is defined as the imprint of a life that lasts at least into the next generation, while success is defined as the achievement of a desired goal. It is the positive consequence of one's achievement. Thus, combining these two definitions, we can state that continuing the legacy of success speaks to gaining a desired outcome in a positive manner, as has been done before. With this in mind, we will now take a look at this legacy of success during the period under review. External examination results. The school performed creditably despite the challenges presented because of COVID-19. This is reflected in our academic results. Carseen secondary examination certificate results. Students were entered in 25 subjects. Of this number, 6 subjects received 100% passes. 4 subjects received between 80 and 99% passes. 4 subjects gained between 60% to 79% passes. And 4 subjects gained 50% to 59% passes. In total, there were 44 grade 1s, 158 grade 2s, and 220 grade 3s, which gives an overall pass rate of 65%, with 30 students receiving 5 passes or more at CSEC. The school's success was exemplified as students placed on the Caribbean Examination Council's merit list in visual arts for the first time in the school's academic history. Let's give them a round of applause this morning. This merit list reflects the top 10 students, not in Barbados, in the region. And therefore, in visual arts, the students, Miss Tameisha Moore, and forgive me if I pronounced that incorrectly, placed 3rd in the Caribbean, and Miss Zariel Forde placed 9th in the Caribbean. Let's give them a round of applause today. High commendations to Mrs. Deborah Bascom and her team in the arts department. At the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination level, students were entered for art and design, entrepreneurship, and management of business at units 1 and 2, while environmental science and physical education and sport were offered at unit 1, in addition to Caribbean studies and communication studies. The results on completion of these examinations were: Physical Education and Sport Unit 1 received 55% passes. Environmental Science Unit 1 received 97% passes. Communication Studies received 71% passes. Caribbean Studies received 81% passes. And Management of Business Unit 1 received 100% passes, while Unit 2 received 87% passes. Entrepreneurship and art and design received 100% passes in both units 1 and 2. Students also successfully completed Caribbean vocational qualifications in electrical installation and commercial food preparation during the year under review. In continuing the legacy of success, students were encouraged to engage in several activities throughout the year despite the COVID pandemic and despite being online or coming in the hybrid situation. Some of these are as follows. Students participated in the ECA summer program As a result, one of the students, Mr. Kaishe Marshall, completed his Caribbean Vocational Qualification Level 1 in Animal Husbandry and received a special mention for his performance. Let's applaud him this morning. Students had practical experience in the CVQ program of electrical installation, and as they engaged in minor electrical repairs around the school compound under the direction of their teacher, Mr. Jeffrey Allicott. Students commenced playing the steel pan as 26 steel pans were received by the school, compliments the National Cultural Foundation, who also willingly provided an instructor for students. Subsequent to this, 2 students, Miss Jazara Chandler and Miss Kaisha Husbands, were called to national duty as members of the Barbados National Steel Orchestra. Let's applaud them this morning. The school held its Alleyne School is a Vibe talent show displaying all the musical abilities of students and staff in April 2022. And if you visit the YouTube, you will see all of these things there for you to enjoy if you haven't done it before. Students also participated in several sporting disciplines during the 2021 to 2022 academic year. One of these was the revamped Barbados Secondary Schools Athletic Championships. The Alleyne School participated as a member of the Peter Vaughan Zone, which placed second in that event. Or Anaya Nurse would have featured heavily in the success of this zone. We applaud our team this morning. We thank Williams Industries, and by extension, Mr. Ralph Williams, for his continued sponsorship of our athletics team. Let's give Williams Industries and Mr. Ralph Williams a round of applause. Additionally, Adrian Maynard continued his success in wrestling and is now rated in the top 20 wrestlers in the world in his division. And you saw him this morning in his cadet uniform as he led the cadets to bring in the flags. Staff-related matters. Several teachers engaged in completing their professional development training and were successful in doing so, whether it was at the Urdeston Teachers Training College, the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill, the TVET Council, or further afield. Special mention is made today of Mr. Derek Waterman, who completed training with the Caribbean Examinations Council and has now been appointed as Chief Examiner for Building and Furniture Technology Education. Mrs. Shirla Pollard, Mrs. Misha Roland Craig, and Mr. Derek Waterman were also trained in the area of coding to add to the complement of teachers engaging in the coding and robotics program here at the school. Mrs. Trinette Belgrave was awarded the Hubert Humphrey Fellowship, where she completed studies in leadership and management in the United States of America, and Ms. Rashi Holder is currently completing her master's in fashion technology in Italy. Let's applaud them for their feats this morning. Departure of staff. The Alleyne School reflected the legacy of success by bidding farewell to 2 of its stalwarts. Mr. Anthony Headley retired after 36 years of service here at the Alleyne School as the coordinator of the physical education unit. And our beloved Miss Julia Beckles completed her tenure as principal. Let's applaud her, yes. Completed her tenure as principal of Alleyne School in August 2022. She has been called to lead the Commonwealth School after having served in several capacities at the Alleyne School for over 31 years. Let's applaud Miss Beckles. I usually share that, that Beckles name is important. My grandfather holds that name, Beckles, as well. And we would tell you that story of how we've decided that we are cousins because of an encounter a few years ago. We wish both of them every success in their future endeavors. Plant upgrade. Several areas of this Alleyne School compound were improved during the academic year 2021 to 2022. The major work occurred during the summer period of 2022. High commendation to Mr. Dwight Mapp, Secretary Treasurer, and his team, and Mr. Troy Phillips, Deputy Principal, who ably coordinated and managed this much needed upgrade of this plant. Can we applaud them this morning? Additionally, the school's cricket pitch was restored with the assistance of the National Sports Council. Commendations to Mr. Sherlock Ramsey, our senior groundsman, for his oversight in making this completion of the pitch a reality. I hope you will recognize that although all of the aspects which were against the students and staff here, they have continued to learn and to build on the legacy of success. I leave you with this poem in part. Let us all be remembered for the lives we touch.
Thank you very much, Reverend Scott.